Lakers and log riders, idols and judges, you are now tuned into the Disney Holic Show.
Hello and welcome to the Disney Holic Show. That's Jenn Diz.
And that's Myke TV.
Today we hit the basketball courts to learn about Magic Johnson's Disney connection, plus the latest Princess and the Frog news, and American Idol goes Disney.
Woo!
Wow. Lots of stuff. How are you doing? We've been kind of all over the place, separate, recording in different ways. What is up, Jenn Diz?
Yeah, I feel like life has just been quite busy in unique ways lately, right? Like not the ways we're used to it being busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's just been like a whole different side of busy life lately.
And as a Disney Holic podcaster, we try to juggle that and all the Disney news and then our just like regular lives on top of it.
Right. Right. And I have been flailing. Luckily, I have a lot of group chats with friends that keep me in line with the Disney news. Otherwise, I'd probably be like swimming in the bayou right now. Like, what's going on?
Swimming in the bayou.
Down by the riverside.
Down by the riverside. What's your life like right now? What's like the last week of your life been like?
Last week of my life. So I am very, very fun employed. Very fun employed. So
I'm trying to find a fun sound for that.
And speaking of fun employment, I am headed back to Disneyland the day that this podcast comes out, which is tomorrow. So Wednesday, I am on a flight down to Disneyland for a week. That's part of being fun employed.
That's
right?
how you do fun employment as a Disney Holic.
That's right.
Yep.
Luckily, I have a lovely friend. You know who you are. Thank you once again for letting me crash at your house, because guess what? When you're fun employed, you have no money. I got my $89 round trip ticket to Disneyland.
Nice. Southwest.
Staying with a friend and budget heavy. I'm using my Disney reward money to pay for all of the food and things I need while I'm at the park. That's about it. Otherwise, I'm not doing anything else. It's very budget-friendly trip. However, it's going to be a lot of fun because you get a lot of bang for your buck.
Plenty to do, right? As a magic key holder with Disney rewards. Boom.
That's right.
And a really good friend, Disney Holic adjacent.
Yes. Yep. Other than that, I guess I've been fighting with unemployment to get my unemployment situated. They keep kind of pulling weird things on me and not very happy about it. Ugh. And job searching. So this is my shout out to anyone listening to the podcast. If you know any links for any HR related jobs, please let me know. It's getting to be desperate times now. I can't get a job. I think it's at the point right now in the market for basically everyone where you have to know somebody who has a job opening. So here we are, desperate measures.
Crazily competitive out there for every type of job.
Insane. Every job, I was just telling my friend about this yesterday. Every job I apply for, it tells you I paid for the like LinkedIn premium or whatever it's called, and it's like let's see how you stand up to the other 3,872 applicants. And I'm like,
I hate that.
This just got posted 24 hours ago. Like, what the heck? So it is a crazy world right now. So looking for any help I can get. So shout out if you guys have any options.
Holla at your girl Jenn Diz.
Holler at your girl Jenn Diz. That's right.
Just like that.
Last but not least, in the last week, maybe a little bit longer, I've been doing a lot of home improvement projects because I'm like, fun employed. Got to do stuff around the house. But it's been really great. It's been like my family home. I'm back here living here for temporarily or whatever, and I'm really helping getting the house fixed up, and it's been a lot of fun. So I'm learning a lot of stuff. I've been using power tools. What is this life? And like really just
I'm always
down and dirty.
Thinking digital power tools as in physical drills and things.
Right.
Yeah, how funny. Wow, look at that.
like actual
Get those
saws
calluses on
and
your soft hands,
hammers,
Jen.
and listen, it's not a power tool, but
I was
makes
gonna
you
say
feel
hammer
powerful, I
too.
guess. Yeah.
It is
But that's
powerful.
about it for me. What's been up with you?
Um, Also trying to catch up on news. We recorded the last couple episodes at different times than our usual thing. So sometimes they forget. I'm like, oh shoot, do we post that? All that kind of stuff. So there's that. And then I was traveling while this was all happening in Las Vegas. So I was there for work. It was an HR conference, speaking of HR. And so a couple of things, I'm in Vegas. I try to do everything but the HR conference while I'm there because I'm like, well, I'm here. I
Free
don't really,
ticket.
yeah, free
Hey.
tickets. They covered the rooms. I'm all for it. So stayed a little bit extra. Went back to Golden Tiki, one of our favorite tiki bars,
Very cute.
and I loved it. I took one of our friends of the show, Nick, who has never been there. Mind you,
Nice.
he lived in Vegas for a long time, but I don't know if that overlapped or not, but he hadn't heard of it. So brought him there.
Aw.
Immediately, he saw the Disney connection. He's like, oh my gosh, why do they have the Small World dolls up there?
Yeah, it's like right in the front too.
Yeah, so there was a really nice moment to bring another Disney fan over there. And then there was just all this commotion happening. So we left the tiki room. It was at nighttime. And it's already a shock leaving like this oasis and coming out to like the strip mall.
Right.
And sirens everywhere. And all of a sudden, all the lights just turned off everywhere,
Oh,
but the strip was still on. You could still see the strip in the distance. But where we were, like the intersection and the strip mall, all just went dark. And we were like, what WTF is going on? And then
yikes.
it lasted for like maybe only 20 seconds and then it went back on. And then our Uber just happened to pull up and it was like nobody was talking about it or anything. And we were like, okay,
Yo, did you
there's
actually see that?
we're tripping
Did
out.
that even happen?
I thought for sure UFOs. It's Vegas, Nevada, like that's where all that stuff happens.
Of course
And
you thought that.
we had a UAP episode recently. I thought, oh shoot, something's happening.
This is
But
it.
that was it. Nobody talked about it. Even the other people who were like waiting outside the bar, like didn't even react. So it was pretty strange. Very, very strange.
But you said it was only 20 seconds?
Yeah, which it felt like a lot before we knew what was going on. Like, I guess that's like a brownout. Is it a brownout when it's
Uh,
not too long?
I don't know.
It was strange. I
I
didn't
don't
like
actually
it.
know the difference between the two of those. I always thought a brownout was like partial outage versus
Oh,
like,
perhaps a tan out.
but I could be wrong. I think I just made that one up because I didn't know what it meant.
Either way, it was what's the word? Unsettling. And it was one of those glitch in the matrix moments. And you and I have those a lot, especially at Disney parks, where we're like,
Yes.
what is happening? Why doesn't anybody else notice what's going on? So it's one of those. But of course, it's fun when you're with other Disney people and in Vegas. But let me tell you, uh, based on your recommendation, so I had asked you, have you been to some of these scary escape rooms in Vegas? And of course, you've been to them. And this one complex
Mhm.
has It, like the scary clown. It has Blair Witch, and it has Saw. And so we
Mhm.
went to the Blair Witch escape room. Ooh, and you said that was really scary. So I was getting ready. I was hyped up for it, and it was very scary. A lot of pop outs, and there was an actor in there, a live actor that kind of helped us along. But the reason I bring this up, of course, I was there with another Disney person. Immediate reaction, why hasn't Disney done this yet? He said.
Right?
He's like, what? They have all the IP you can imagine
Right.
and
And
plenty
I'm
of
trying to say
space.
what the heck is going on with that?
Yeah. So it's funny, you bring someone to an escape room and if they even know Disney a little bit, their first question is, do they have this there and why not?
Yeah, like what where's the Disney ones? Like let's do the Disney ones next. Like, oh, they
Right?
don't exist.
Yep. And with our friend Nick, we actually during pandemic, you and I, him and his husband did an online escape room. I actually forgot, and he reminded me that we did because we did a lot of weird remote things together, you and I.
Yeah.
But so I guess we did one with them, and it was Peter Pan, but fake. It was like a
Right.
knockoff Neverland thing. So I promise the next time we're all together, we'll do some fake Disney ones because they don't have official ones. So we got to find
Okay.
those. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Super
So Blair
down.
Witch did that in Vegas. And then, of course, the HR conference. In the most unlikeliest of places did I find Disney connections. I was completely preparing myself to just be bored with the human resources stuff. And the keynote speaker of this big Vegas conference was Magic Johnson. So I thought, okay, probably a lot of like sports references, leadership in sports, yada yada. So he came on and they introduced him with all the accolades. But what I did know him from was basketball. So he's an LA Laker, he was. And he was also part of the US Olympics Dream Team, which was pretty cool. I vaguely remember that, like in the 90s, I think, early 90s or something. Do you remember any of that? Hoo-ha?
Um, it's like I mean, they always have like an all-star, I think it's called All-Star team every year, but I
Mm.
don't know like what the difference is. Probably just a little different because it was the Olympic year, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't do much research on it. Maybe it was the first of the basketball being added to.
Oh, maybe.
But they were called the Dream Team by like the press. This was like Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, like all the big names were all representing the US, which is pretty cool. So then he like talks about that and his experience. He's on stage, keynote speaker. And then he starts talking about some of the other things that he's done for communities. So apparently he's opened a bunch of Starbucks in partnership with the corporate Starbucks, because you can't franchise that. And his whole thing was getting Starbucks locations into inner cities where they were not there.
Oh.
And so he had to really convince the executives at Starbucks that number one, inner city people, including a lot of people of color, want Starbucks. Don't assume that they don't, because that was the assumptions being made. So he brought them to his own movie theater chain, which is also in the inner cities, including like Harlem. I've heard of it. I've seen it come up on Fandango, Magic Johnson movie theaters. And
Oh.
so yeah, he
Wow.
has those. There's a bunch of like in LA and then New York City. So that was like the closest tie-in I knew that he had with like entrepreneurship. So he brought these execs from Starbucks to his theater, and they did not understand or expect the the audience that they got, and it was a whole different demographic that they're not used to. So Magic Johnson was joking and telling these, I'll just be direct, old white men, hey, by the way, we shout at the screen, we throw things, we talk during the movie, and look at my concession stand and see what you notice that's different. So they are all like excited by just the whole different demographic and how one product like a movie theater can completely be different if you cater to it properly. And that's what Magic Johnson did, is because he knows his audience and his community. So he took them over to the concession stands, and rather than just having Coke and Sprite and popcorn, they had fruit punch. They had every flavor of soda. He was already on top of it, ahead of the game with the flavored
Freestyle.
freestyle machines, and he was serving like actual food and not just popcorn. And so they're like, okay, we believe in you and what you're doing. Open one Starbucks in one of the locations you want, and we'll see what happens. So of course it did really well. And then he's opened up like 75 other Starbucks to
Wow.
date in inner cities. And I have to reemphasize, they don't let people franchise it. So he really had to work with them and get them to open it. And I thought, oh, wow, that is a pretty cool story.
It is
And we
very
talk
cool.
about that a lot, like knowing your audience and what makes a difference and how people want things. So then he's like wrapping up his keynote speaker session. And I was like, okay, this is pretty good. Casually drops. Oh, and then I also, by the way, feed all the cast members at Disneyland and Disney World. And I was like,
Feed
what?
them. What do you mean?
It's
What's
like,
going on here?
my
Magic
my
Johnson?
antennae went up.
Magic Kingdom Johnson?
Magic
Somehow.
Kingdom Johnson. And so he didn't really expand on it that much. That's kind of where he mic dropped and then was like, thanks. And then the host came back and thanked him for being there.
And
So
you're
then
like,
I,
wait a second.
yeah, I was like, wait, what do you mean?
Get
Like
back
that's
over
bigger
here.
than Starbucks in my mind as a Disney holiday.
Right.
So then I kind of forget about it. And then I get home and I talked to Jerry. So for those who don't know, my husband works in the school food industry. So he knows a lot about those big companies that are out there competing, like Cisco and all those that you see on the side of
Mhm.
trucks. And it turns out he's like, yeah, He knew all about it. He was like,
What?
yeah, it's called Magic and something, and they do the Disney parks. And I was like, wait, what?
What the
How do you
heck?
know this? So yeah, that's a whole rabbit hole iceberg that I would like to go down one day. I didn't do much research more than that. But yeah, but basically the food company that feeds people behind the scenes, so not the guests, but the cast members, is through Magic Johnson's company.
What the
Yeah.
heck?
And I want to know more about like
Interesting.
why. Like we heard about why Starbucks and why movie theaters, but I wonder what that has to do with it. So more to come on that. Magic
I love
Johnson,
that.
man.
Yeah, add that to the list for sure. I want to hear more about that.
Add that to the list. All right, so I came back from Vegas and dove right into more news, Disney announcements. The big one that I think we're all excited about was the date for the opening of Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Yeah, I have to say it seems a little quiet in Disney news lately. And then that came out. I was like, okay, there's some good stuff going on. All right, all
It was like
right.
boom,
Guess we
kada.
have Pixar Fest, but nobody seems excited about it at Disneyland for whatever reason. But
Oh, let me tell you, I'm
huh.
going to skip ahead right here and right now because you brought up Pixar Fest. So, American Idol last Sunday had their Disney Songbook episode, which they usually do every year. Even before it was like completely owned by Disney, they would always do Disney songs. It's like the top five. So that means we get like 10 songs, two each. But the fun part, the reason why I love these kind of episodes, and even if you're not out there watching this current season of Idol, you might not even have known it's still on. But go watch this episode. It's on Hulu and it's on Disney Plus slash Hulu, because they go to the theme parks a lot in between clips.
Ah.
And we love that, like those old TV shows too, like Step by Step and Full House when they do the Disney trip. This is the American Idol version. And they spent like the good first 5 minutes with just the hosts at Pixar Fest. And it was all about Pixar Fest. And I was like,
Oh,
oh,
okay.
okay, that's a choice because I thought we are going into like the,
Commercial.
the Disney songbook. Yeah. And it was all about, and they're in DCA the whole time, going through Pixar Pier. And then it's Lionel Richie, Katy Perry, and Luke. He's a country singer. Luke Bryant, I think is his name. Whoops, sorry about that. And so the three of them, they were on our favorite stage where the Fat Cat Singer Band performs, where you could see
Oh, the
Pixar Fest in the back. I
Palisades
mean,
right
the
in front.
Pixar
Aw.
Pier. Yeah, so you had the
Yeah.
happy, I was going to say the Mickey's Fun Wheel. Oops, the Pixar Pal around there. And then you have these three great singers singing "You Got a Friend in Me," and it was really
Aw.
cute. And Katy Perry is a huge, huge Disney fan, so she was like so into it. Like her eyes were bigger than they normally are. She was so happy to be there doing this. Ryan Seacrest jumps in. It was just a really cute way to start off the show. American Idol. And so yeah, they do that. I will get back to American Idol, but I wanted to mention they were really trying to
Pixar
push
Fest dropping
Pixar
bombs. Okay,
Fest. Yeah.
fair.
And the rest of the show was at Disney World. So they made a point to bring those judges, just the judges, no contestants or no, to DCA to film that spot. And they made it look so cute and very colorful and exciting. So they did a good job.
Okay. Well, I am going to be checking it out. So if you guys want to follow along, I'll probably be posting a lot on Instagram this next week about Pixar Fest. So follow
Oh,
along on
good. I want to
Instagram.
see your take on the Hollywood backlot because I'm hearing mixed things about it. It's not a lot of people, including me, thought it was going to be like electronica. I guess our hopes were really high, but
Right.
it's I guess it's not so much.
Oh, okay. I will
Oh,
follow up in
sweet.
like 24 hours.
We'll see. So yeah, Pixar Fest, Disney, and American Idol is where they announced, look at this tie back, where they announced the opening of Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So they had a whole song and dance number with Jennifer Lewis, who plays Mama Odie, and she sang Dig a Little Deeper. It was like a huge Broadway number on stage. And then they played the commercial for the opening. And then Ryan Seacrest announced June 28th. So it was a well-oiled Disney machine with American Idol going. And I love that. I love a branding moment like that. So Princess and the Frog is opening. I have a Princess and the Log game for us.
Ha,
And then we'll
cute.
talk about like the dates and the announcements and all that.
Sure.
So I gotta give credit. There was a Reddit subreddit that I was on where they're talking about Tiana's Bayou adventure. I'm gonna have a hard time saying that. I have to pause. It's like a mouthful. Splash
Yeah, what are
Mountain.
people okay, right now, are people just gonna call it Tiana's? Probably, right? What are we gonna call
Probably.
it for short?
What are we gonna call it? Tiana's.
Tiana's.
Hey, do you want to head over to
Tiana's.
Tiana's now, or
Yeah,
did
it
you get
sounds
a
cute too.
did you get your virtual queue for Tiana's or no? Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Okay, I could
Yeah,
see that.
Tiana's.
So on Reddit, there were people talking about it, the opening, and I always forget that not everyone lives in our crazy world of Disney. So there are still people out there that didn't really know that this was opening, and so they're like, "Oh, that's really exciting." And one person was like, "Why didn't they just keep it Splash Mountain and just change the theme?" So that person like wasn't even in tune
They're
with
like,
all the
"What's going on?
controversy. Yeah.
What's today's date? I don't know."
And when you put it that way and you take out like the whole Song in the South thing, I think it could have just worked. Just Splash Mountain is just rethemed with Splash Mountain
Right.
with Tiana or something. But I guess
Right.
they want to completely remove it from Song of the South. Totally get that. But then another Redditor, they're so
Well,
clever,
there's no
said,
mountains in the bayou. Ooh,
"Whoops, no
so
mountains
gotta
in the
get the mountain out. You
bayou.
leave the splash in.
Fair splash log." So Splash Bayou. Ah, I don't know. Splash Mountain is
Splash
just
down the
such an
bayou.
iconic name. Now, the best suggestion was someone said, "Oh, Disney missed the opportunity here for Princess and the Log."
Princess and the Log.
And I thought it was the funniest thing. And I thought,
Was that
let's just,
you who wrote that?
no, it was not. I give full credit to some random anonymous Reddit user. So I thought, okay, let's do a full-on segment slash game, Princess and the Log.
All right, let's do it.
So this is going to be trivia questions at Disney or Disney related, not related to Princess and the Frog, because I know that's hard for all of us.
Okay, good.
It's just related to wood, trees, and logs.
Oh, thank goodness I'm a dendrophiliac.
Wait, what is that? Wood, fear
I
of
think
wood?
it's someone that has sex with trees.
Oh my gosh,
Kidding.
they must
Kidding.
love Guardians of the Galaxy.
FYI. All
Wood, fear
right,
of-
Groot. Girl.
If anyone's watching the video, we're truly in the bayou. It's really hot and humid where I am right now. Not humid, but it's hot, so I'm sweating. Okay, so I asked Vicky, aka ChatGPT 4.0, which just launched today, brand new version, to help us with these
Is it
questions.
updated current?
Updated, yeah, just today. Yeah,
Ooh.
it's a lot faster. Boom, 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 boom. Robots, the future. Okay, in Disney's Pocahontas, what is the name of the wise old tree that gives advice to Pocahontas?
All right, so all I can think of right now is the tree that was in the lobby for Rainforest Cafe in the gift shop. It's
It looks.
Tracy the tree. So I'm gonna go with Tracy the tree
Is
from
that her
Rainbow
name?
Alex.
In the Rainforest Cafe. That's hilarious. It looks just
Yeah.
like it. I don't know which copied who.
Yeah, yeah.
Who
I don't
copied
remember
who?
the name of the tree though.
Grandmother Willow. Willow.
Oh, actually, it's familiar now that you say
Grandmother
it.
Willow.
I'm like, oh yeah, that's it. But I
I
wouldn't.
feel like
Hmm.
it should be that should be an Animal Kingdom, but I don't think it is. I think I'm thinking of Rainforest Cafe.
Rainforest. Oh yeah, Rainforest Cafe is over there.
Oh, and they have one in there. Oh my God, I didn't connect that. I feel like there should be more Pocahontas. Hello at Animal Kingdom. What's going on?
Hello, get with
They
it.
have the rivers. They should just do a canoe ride.
That's what that
Yeah,
Rivers of Light show should have been. It should be
should have been.
Colors of the Wind or something.
Oh, the kites. The kites should have been
Oh no, Colors of the Wind with the
the
stupid
animals.
kite shows. Let it
Let it
die. Oh my
die.
gosh.
All right, next question. Princess and the Log trivia. Which Disney movie features a wood carver who creates a puppet that comes to life?
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Just kidding. Pinocchio. Pinocchio.
Pinocchio. He's also, I wouldn't call him a wood carver, right? Geppetto. He's a clocksmith.
He's
What
a
is that called?
yeah.
Clockmaker?
Clock.
I guess you have to be both. That's the skill, and then your job is a
Yeah.
clockmaker.
But he makes all those little maquettes and all that other little
Oh yeah,
characters
the
all the time.
doll
So
itself. Whoops.
but yeah, that go with them. So maybe he's also a puppeteer. Who knows? Or
Speaking
a puppet
of,
maker.
here where I am right now in Guadalajara, Mexico, there's a church, a big nice one, old Gothic church, and it has I think it's once a day at like a 4 p.m. or something. It has the little things that come out. It
Cute.
comes
Oh, can you
out,
record it,
these
please? I
like
want to
little
see it.
saints. Okay, so I was gonna go record it, and then someone on YouTube thankfully uploaded a video saying it's down for maintenance.
Oh,
So
shoot.
I'll wait till it comes back and I will do an Instagram on it. Very
Okay.
excited.
Very cute.
In The Lion King, what type of tree does Rafiki live in?
I
Rafiki.
forgot he lived in a tree.
He lives in a
Um,
tree.
if he
There's
lived
several of them
in a
at Animal
tree, it's gonna
Kingdom.
have to be a big one, but it's
Uh-huh.
also in the safari.
Uh-huh.
What kind of trees do they have out there? What does Africa trees look like?
This particular one looks upside down to a lot of people.
Oh, that's normal. I'm gonna go with the upside down pineapple tree.
Very close. It's the baobab tree. Bao.
Oh, like
B-A-O
baboon?
B-A-B, baobab. Like a baboon. He's a baboon, isn't he?
I think
Or a
so. The pink butt,
mandrill.
right?
I don't know. He
Oof.
has the pink nose.
And the blue on the face. I don't know.
Yep. Baboon.
I
Rafiki the
think so.
baboon. What is the name of the wooden sword? Wooden sword that young Arthur pulls from the stone in The Sword and the Stone.
Man, I've been playing a lot of Zelda while I've been fun employed. All I can think of is Zelda terms, but I'm going to go with the apprentice sword.
It's an
No.
interesting guess. Um, it's called, this is really weird, Kay's practice sword. I think Kay might have been one of the trainers or something like that.
Oh,
Vicky slash ChatGPT is trying to trick us and say Excalibur, which is the main metal one, but
yeah. No.
all right.
Vicky doesn't know what she's talking about half the time. She's
Doesn't
drunk.
know. In A Bug's Life, what structure, it's a natural structure, serves as the setting for the big bug city?
A tree stump.
Yeah,
Tree root.
a hollow log. That's a tree stump in a way. It's the
Yeah.
tree fell and it's a log, it's hollow. That was
Yeah.
it. That's all Vicky gave. That's all she wrote. So I hope you had fun playing
That's all she
Princess
wrote.
and the Log. Princess and the Log.
I just thought of another wood one. What was it? Oh, yeah, you could have done something Groot in there. Come on, Vicky, get with it.
Vicky.
Um, and we could have talked about Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade. How,
Ooh,
yeah,
what is it?
remember when he picked the wrong, um, yeah. What was
Cup?
it called? What is it called? It's not the
The
Ark of the Covenant, is it?
the
No, that's
cup.
the big gold thing.
The wine cup.
What's it
Chalice.
called?
Chalice?
Chalice, but there's a name for it. I can't
Indiana
remember. But
Jones and the
um, yeah, it was wood because Jesus was a carpenter. Right?
oh, that's so clever. I forgot about that. And he
Yes,
got it
it's
right.
really
And that
clever.
other old man
You
like
have
turned into
chosen
something, right?
wisely.
He like
Yes.
eroded him before our eyes. Special effects.
That was
Wow.
fun. That was good. I
Wood.
don't think I've ever thought that much about. Wait, I'm not even going to say that out loud.
Ah.
Anyways, moving on.
Oh, would have been one more good one. But I just can't. Our little man in the tree in Disneyland.
Aw,
Yeah.
Patrick, little man
Oh,
at
his name is
Disneyland.
Patrick. That's so cute.
Patrick, something with a B, bodega or something. Bogey, somebody
Patrick
knows. Somebody's screaming at me right
Bodegahan.
now.
Bodegan.
Patrick Bo, something. Yep.
All right, so let's drop in to the Princess and the Frog, Tiana's Bayou Adventure Magic Kingdom Disney World opening date announcements. And you're gonna hear that pun everywhere. I see it on every Instagram, every Disney press release about drop in June 28th. Just so you know, like it's still Splash Mountain. It has to drop. Fun, splash, love it. So
Yes.
June 28th, Magic Kingdom Disney World. We do not know yet the date for Disneyland, just still later 2024. So hopefully we'll find that out too for West Coasters.
Yes, please.
So the preview dates for Bayou Adventure. So if you want to try the attraction before the June 28th official opening, we have some options. So if you're an annual
Okay.
pass holder at Disney World, June 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, and 20 are the preview dates. Check your Disney World app for details. There's a pass holder buzz section, and that's where you're going to find the details. I will say the park reservations are already sold out for Magic Kingdom on every single one of those days.
Ooh.
However, you can still try for the second virtual queue without a pass and do a park hopper style. The entire thing sounds very stressful to me, and I think it's if you're like local and can get there easily, it's probably fine to try to chance it. But I think without the Magic Kingdom park reservation, that stresses me out. And I was in the queue just to get a park reservation, and I didn't make it in time. Which is funny because imagine you were just trying to make a regular park reservation today, you would have been put in a 45-minute queue,
Right.
which is pretty
Oh my
annoying.
gosh. Like I just
Yeah.
want to go to the park. What the heck is going on here?
Yeah, totally. And sometimes we're there, like trying to do it in front of the
Yeah.
gate,
Right.
so very stressful. So that's for pass holder previews. You need an annual pass. And for some of the virtual queue registrations, you will also need Magic Kingdom park reservation. Now, option 2 is Disney Vacation Club preview dates. So
Okay.
these are on the dates that are not mentioned in the pass holder one. So June 12th and June 19th. So there's 2
A
days.
birthday.
Da-dun-dun. And what you have to do to get that is actually register. So you know how they love to make things confusing. So let me reiterate. Pass holder, you don't have to register at all. You just have to get into the virtual queue like normal. Whereas DVC preview dates, you do have to register. That
Okay.
opens this Thursday, so tomorrow after this episode airs, at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So Thursday, May 16th, 10 a.m. Eastern. You want to log into Disney Vacation Club with your account for full details, and that's where the link is going to appear, I'm assuming. So for 12 and 9, 19th, it's limited. I think that's what I'm kind of going to go for. If I don't get that, then I'm not going to plan a trip because that
Okay.
guarantees you a spot if you
Right.
get that. And I'll say I ended up doing that for Tron, and it worked out. I did a quick trip, did it.
Oh my gosh. I just realized this is probably going to be a virtual queue kind of thing, right? Or at least when it opens to
Probably
everyone.
indefinitely. Yeah, like see
That
how
seems
long
so
Guardians
weird
has
that
been
it's
in?
like an older ride.
Yeah.
You know what I
And it
mean? But
already had 120-minute waits on some hot
yeah.
days.
Ooh, I love that actually. I'm fine with that.
It's
Totally fine
easier,
with that.
right, to get on. Yeah, just do it, get it over with. And if you don't get it that day, try the next day.
Mhm.
So that's for DVC members. And with DVC membership, you can bring a couple of guests. I don't know off the top of my head, but that's June 12th, June 19th. I will let you know if I get it
All
because if
right.
you want to go, I already pre-booked my DVC Saratoga Springs 1-bedroom suite
Oh
just
man.
in case as a placeholder.
Ooh,
Um,
June in Disney World's rough, and I'm also not
Not,
working, so
not.
probably
But I
not. But
mean,
thank you. We'll
but
see.
B-Day,
We'll see how it goes.
B-Day, Princess and the Log Day. Okay,
I do
now
have a $200 credit at Southwest.
there you go.
Oh,
Oh, and
okay.
catch this with the DVC preview, you don't need. Actually, I'm not going to say it because I don't know. I need to read the fine print. I was going to say I don't think you need a park ticket because you just get to
I was
go
gonna
in
say,
for
oh, I
those
don't
couple
have a park
hours.
ticket either.
It's like 12 to 3 or something. So I have a feeling you
Oh my
don't,
goodness.
but you never know how they do it. I
True.
also did a park reservation on that day just in case, because that was open.
Smart.
You got to do all the things, cover all your bases, right?
Got
We've
to do
learned
it.
the hard way many times.
How you have to play the game everybody else is playing. You got to play along.
You got to play the game.
It sucks,
Now,
but it's how it is.
now, if you're not an annual pass holder and you're not a DVC member, there's a third option.
I was like, good luck. No, I'm just kidding.
There's a third option, and it comes at a cost. But I will tell
Of
you,
course it
this is the
does.
one I'm most excited about and hope
Oh, okay.
hope I get this version. There's so many different ways to get it. So D23 gold members are getting
Oh,
an exclusive what they're calling gold member celebration for the grand opening. And it's a paid preview event. It takes place June 22nd. And this comes with entry to the park during event hours. So you don't need a ticket or an annual pass for the event hours. Snacks and tasty refreshment. So they'll probably have like the ice creams out and the sodas and the waters.
Popcorn.
Live jazz performances and dancing.
Cute.
It says, get your dance shoes on.
Aw, man.
And a commemorative pin. Dun-dun-dun.
Okay. Cute.
What is your guess at the ticket price?
I'm gonna guess it's floating around $150.
It's only a whopping $67.
Excuse me, hold on.
Cough it out. I am very shocked at that.
Wait, you
low
get
price.
to go into the park for that? You don't need
Parks,
tickets?
You get the ride and then all that stuff.
Wow.
That's like normally like an after hours, the way they described some of those extras.
Are there other attractions open? Do you know? There have to be. They can't have that many people.
Yeah, I think so. So it's at 6:30 p.m. and there didn't seem to be an indication that they're closing the park. So either you can only stay in that section.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Kind of cool too, right? It's like the New Orleans Square area.
Wow.
Or you can do like the early, like an hour before. I'm not sure how
I want to go to
doing
that
it,
too,
but
especially for $67. Even I can afford that right now.
that is such a
Not
and
really,
that's
but, you know, I'll
with
do it.
the processing fee. It's actually only $60. but I made sure
Wow.
to mention the $7 processing fee.
23.
Yeah, so very good. So if you're interested in that, the registration for that and ticket sales open at the same exact time as the DVC preview registration, which is on a whole other website. So for D23 Gold member tickets, you want to go to d23.com, log in, make sure you have a gold membership, and that's at 10 a.m. Eastern time, Thursday, May 16th on the D23 website. Whew. I'm already stressed out.
That's pretty cool.
Just thinking about it, but these are pretty good options. You have
that's pretty cool, and I have nothing going on for my birthday, so.
There you go. The tune has quickly changed from one.
There's no way I'm going to Florida in June, but it's fun to think about it.
You just got to lean into it. We'll wear our bathing suits.
There's no leaning into that. There's no such thing as that. I can't.
At least you'll get splashed at the end.
Yes, we'll have to go on the ride 7,000 times. And
you probably only get once. You wish virtual queue once per day. Now here's where I need to convince you that you need to go, because you saw the reverse of it, the closing. So it's only natural that you see the reopening.
You know,
you were there in person.
I wonder if Brooke Lopez will be there. That would get me excited to go.
Oh, basketball again. Is that basketball or football?
Basketball. He's just such a big Disney nerd.
He probably will. He probably has a VIP ticket to it. Or there's probably like a press one, and he's in the press opening.
Oh, yeah.
Or he's going to both. Also, we've talked about 2 basketball players on this episode.
What's going on?
What's happening?
What is the NBA? Happening? The NBA podcast. Speaking of, I told my friend Michael about Brooke Lopez and Robin Lopez's obsession with Disney, and he said there's this whole special where they did like this weird like version of Cribs, and they will walk you through their house, and it's all Disney. He's like, it looks like a little Disneyland in their house. I'm like, I need to watch that. So I need to track that down.
Cool. MTV Cribs,
so
like
cool.
The full on. Okay, I got to find.
It wasn't MTV Cribs, but it was like the
like
same idea. Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at it, watch it. Let's report back. Yeah, that's fascinating. And then get them on our podcast.
Please, can somebody please? Who knows the Lopez brothers? Let's do it.
All right. So with the Tiana's Bayou Adventure, TBA, opening very soon, what is our last and final thoughts pre-opening about this attraction coming soon?
I don't know. I'm excited about it. I don't feel that I need to be there right away, but I'm very excited for it. And I have this weird fear of this new animatronic style that looks too good. I don't want to get bored of it. I was like thinking about it the other day. I'm like, oh, what if it just becomes common? It's like, but they're so cool. They look like they're plucked straight out of the cartoon, and it might like lose a little bit of that charisma of the old wonky animatronics, right?
True.
Just like kind of like got its own thing to it, like a kitschy thing. Um, but overall, I'm very excited. I'm very excited about the music it's going to be bringing. Like, I feel like the music's going to be amazing on the attraction. I feel like there's going to be more live music because of it. Jazz, swing, all the things that I love. So that part, super excited about. Um, and yeah, just excited to see how they put this whole story together. I haven't really like I know there's been a lot of specials that have come out that kind of show you a bit more about the attraction and give you sneak peeks, and I haven't seen any of them. I've been avoiding them, so I don't really know much. So I'm excited to see how it all pans out. What about you?
I like that. I like that you brought up the story because it is rare that we get a ride slash attraction that's almost a sequel or follow
Yeah.
up to the movie. The one that comes to mind is E.T.
Oh my
at
god, it's the
Universal, where
best.
you get to go to his home planet.
I've had so many people go to Universal in Florida and I've told them don't skip the ET ride because people will think like I don't want to go on this weird old. I'm like, don't skip it. It's hella weird. And then
Yeah.
people just skip it. And then, but I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's like this whole trippy new thing that you didn't know existed.
It's so weird and psychedelic and blacklight
Yeah.
and I I feel like it only works as a ride. I think if Steven Spielberg made a movie out of that, it might have killed the entire brand ET. Like people would have been like, "What?" in the movie theater.
Right.
But
Yep.
as a ride, it's cute and they're like singing to you and da da da
It's
da.
hella weird. I
Really
love it.
colorful. But yeah, so I'm excited to see what a sequel story looks like to at Princess and the Frog's ride. And other things I'm excited about, the beignet smell. This is one of the few things that make me want to go when it opens because I feel like it's going to be the first to break. It's going to stop smelling like beignets at the end,
I didn't
a
know it was
couple
supposed to.
months after it opens. Whoops. I'm with you on the animatronics. I'm hoping that the animals still feel a little clunky with where you could see their mouth lines, whereas the main characters are the new ones. Good
Right.
mix will be that, especially if
Yeah, I
they
could sprinkle
truly
in.
reused them. I don't know if they really reused them or not, the old
Yeah, I
animals.
don't know. Did they keep the
Okay.
America Sings like that? That's cool. They
Yeah.
did. Hopefully.
And it's still just critters, critter country type of things. Um, they released the photo op today of what it looks like when you go down. And
Okay.
in the photo op itself is already a Splash Mountain Easter egg. So,
Cute.
right? So I'm excited to find the Easter eggs all over the place.
Cute. Oh, I love that.
And I like how Disney, like, even if you get rid of a ride, you can still have Easter eggs because it's really more of a tribute to the fans, to the nostalgia, and to the Imagineers who built the original, whatever it happens to be. So very excited about that
Cute.
aspect. But yeah,
I
so
wonder if they're
hopefully
gonna
we'll go
keep
with
that
it.
little gopher in Splash Mountain. It's only in the Florida one. Do you know about this?
Ooh, no.
It pops out of it's upside down, it pops out of the ceiling and it says like the name of a college or something. It's like a little
Oh,
like FUSD or so I can't remember what it says, but it like throws out some college acronym. And it's just so weird because it's like, it doesn't feel very Disney because of that. So it's like, wait, what's going on? It's too like normal.
is it Bucky from
It
Bucky's
looks like
gas
Bucky.
station? They should have. I hope the beaver still pops out and says maybe a new Easter egg thing to Splash Mountain. It'd be
That would
really
be
cool.
cute. Like
Yeah, so all
laughing
right.
place, huh?
Happy place. A laughing place. I said happy
Laughing
place.
place.
Laughing place. So that's coming very soon this year, both Disney World and Disneyland. Like I had mentioned before, they did a big show and song and dance number and announcement during the American Idol episode on Sunday. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that episode because it is a very good episode. For example, if you just like to see the parks and really nice branded like these type of things are like those videos, those DVDs we used to order about planning your vacation. Like they really make it look good. I was just thinking as soon as I was done watching the episode, like, oh my God, I need to go to Disney World right now. I have full withdrawals. And I love seeing other people experience. So there's the top 5 contestants. They're mostly young. The youngest is like 15, and I think it goes up into like her 20s. There's like someone, the youngest guy is 15, the oldest is probably in her late 20s. So I wanted to know like what these people thought. So there was one of the contestants, she was in the one in her late 20s, really good singer. She is a Disney fan, so it was cool seeing a
Okay.
Disney holic get to sing Disney songbook songs. So she sang Part of Your World, and it was so beautiful. It was gorgeous. She did a really good
Aw.
job. And then when she went to Disney, they were showing all these pictures of her and her family growing up at Disney. So like kind of proof, like, hey, this person really went to the parks all the time.
Right.
And
She's
then
paid
there's
her
a
dues, ladies and gentlemen.
right. She's like legit. So that was fun seeing her in the parks. And then there was another person, this kid, he is 15, country singer. He's adorable. And he's mixed, half black and half white. And so they paired him up with, I want to say, a country singer that's also mixed, and they were talking about being mixed race and all that. But I didn't recognize the celebrity. But they made a big deal about him, so I think country fans know who he is. But so he said he loves Disney. He's 15. So he says he loves Disney. I don't know what that means for a 15-year-old. But he said it was his first time at Disney World, and he's from like a small town. And he had his little cowboy hat on. And they showed him watching the Festival of Fantasy Parade. I think that's what it's called. And then Maleficent blew the fire, and this kid's brain just exploded. He was just like, oh, oh. He was like looking at the cameraman, the camera, like, what? He was so excited. Oh, I love that. I
Cute.
love that. So there was a
Aw.
lot of like some of that stuff happening. It was also Mother's Day. So for the second half of the episode, they showed clips of their mom surprising each of the top five at Disney World. So they thought they were just working because they work them to the bone, these contestants, like 7 days a week. It's just filming, filming, filming. And so they haven't seen their parents in a while. So the mom would pop out from
Aw.
somewhere. In this one case, it was this other country singer, bearded guy. He was in front of the Millennium Falcon. He's like, "Oh, I love Star Wars. This is so exciting. Can't believe it." But this other guy was like, "Yeah, I dressed up as Anakin for Star Wars," and they showed proof Halloween costume when he was a kid. And then the stormtroopers came out, blah 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 blah, and then they opened up, and the mom came out, and they had her as like a prisoner, and it was just so heartwarming. Like you could see,
Those moments are always so cute.
so
It feels
good.
so real too, because you know what that homesickness feels like, you know?
Yeah, oh, so good. Hallmark moment, choked me up. And so yeah, there was a couple of those happening for Mother's Day. And then there was this really great moment at the very beginning of the live show when they announce the judges when they walk out. Lionel Richie and Luke didn't dress up as Disney. They were just like sparkling. But Katy Perry came out as as Cinderella, but like ragged. It was when she got her dress torn off
Oh,
by her
cool.
stepsisters, and she did like a full-on reveal Nina West moment. So she starts spinning and spinning, and all of a sudden it transforms and turns to the blue dress. Her hair is blonde and an
Yes.
updo. It was so cool. So cool. And everything that she commented on throughout the show, she always threw in a pun. Like she'd be like, this is the dream that your heart made, and it came true. You're a star. Great job. Like she would do that. And then she
Cute.
would sometimes confer with Gus Gus the mouse, and you would hear it squeaking, and then she would say
Stop.
what his commentary was. So cute.
Oh,
So cute.
heck
So she
yeah.
was just living up her Disney holic moment as the main judge on American Idol. Love it.
Very cute.
And then yeah, so anyone watches the show itself, they narrowed it down to the top three. The guy that I'm rooting for, I really like his voice. He kind of has like John Mayer, Jason Mraz kind of vibes. He made it through, and the finale is coming up, I think, in a week or so. So if you're watching, it's supposed to be a big finale, a lot of stars, probably more Disney plugs, I'm sure. But Jason Mraz is going to be there. I'm a huge Jason Mraz fan, so I'm excited that he's going to be there. But yeah.
Very cool. It's funny you mentioned Nina West because I actually watched that exact video you're talking about where Nina's like, I really freaking love Disney, right? That one
Yeah,
where
yeah.
she has like the 10, 12 reveals.
So
And
many.
I just watched it like an hour before our recording tonight.
Oh
Isn't
my
that
gosh.
weird?
That's so funny. Yeah, Katy Perry basically did that from one Cinderella
Cute.
to
I
the
want to
other.
see that.
It's
Aw.
so cute. I should probably take a clip and post it on Instagram to go with this episode.
Do it, do it.
But yeah, we dropped into this episode with announcements for Tiana's Bayou adventure opening at Magic Kingdom, June 28th. We talked about our lives as Disneyholic podcasters, kind of all over the place, from being fun employed to seeing Magic Johnson speak at an HR conference. And then he turns out he's a Disney cast member feeder. Need to learn more about that. And
What
then
the heck?
we talked about American Idol because they just did that fun Disney episode.
Very, very cool. Well, thank you all for listening, and we hope you enjoyed episode 189 of the Disneyholic Show.
Follow us on social media at the Disneyholics.
And if you'd like to get in touch, send us a message on Instagram or contact us at thedisneyholics.com.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.